The 2025 NFL playoffs are here, and I'm back, baby. I'm fucking back. Y'all thought you'd never see me again. Well, too bad. I'm alive. As you'll recall, at the end of week 12, I bottomed the fuck out. We crashed out, crapped out. Currently down 12. Fucking mirrored the camera. 12.99 units. And so we're funzo dunzo I pulled the plug on weekly videos for the regular season because I lost too much, went below 10 units, had to crap out. But now we're back. We're wiping the slate clean. Before I wipe the slate clean, quick recap of how I did. I did keep track of all my predictions throughout the rest of the year, just on like Sleeper and shit. I went 161 wins, 110 losses, 1 tie. Not great. I wish I met my goal of going below 100 incorrect losses. Is the camera out of focus or is my vision just shit? Okay, no, it's good. It's good. All right. Fuck. Teething issues coming back. So, Wildcard Weekend is here, and we're gonna predict with a whole new slate. Gambling's back on the table. New year, new resolution. Gamble more. Just kidding. Same single units as always. I'm gonna keep the minus 12.99 units here, basically 13. I'm gonna keep it here just as a see if we can climb back out of it and see where we end up at the end of the year, end of the season rather, new year. Yeah, and yes, sadly, as you can see, I'm not wearing the Jared Goff jersey because my glorious king and his team sadly did not make the playoffs, thanks to a lot of bad defense and O-line play, tons of injuries just like last year, and some interference from the refs, no need to get into that right now. We're here to talk about the 6 games of Wildcard Weekend, so shut your mouth. Let's talk ball. Starting off, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers in the NFC. The 5 seed versus the 4 seed, because in this NFL, if you have a losing record, you can host a playoff game. Because that makes, and you can lose in week 18, go below 500, and win your division regardless. Ain't that a fucking kick in the pants? Yeah, please change the seeding format so that way it goes by record and not just winning the division. You can still win your division to guarantee a playoff game. You just don't get to host one if you go below 500 like a bitch-made team. Sorry to disrespect the Panthers to start this off, but yeah, the Panthers are not making it past the first round. They do have a bit of an X factor because they're playing the Rams, and they beat the Rams not too long ago, just a few weeks ago. What was the score of that Rams Panthers game? Because that is going to influence my decision here. Week 13. Okay, so the Panthers only won by 3 points. They made mincemeat of that pretty decent Rams defense. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off the same trick twice. Granted, this is a very similar situation than it was back in all the way in week 13, where it's home field advantage for the Panthers once again. The game will be played in Carolina. Rams are going on the road. Despite everything, I think the key difference in this game is that I believe in week 13, the Rams did not have Devontae Adams. I think this was the injury that kept him out for like the majority of the end of the regular season. And now I think they're going to be getting him back for Wildcard Weekend. And hopefully the rest of the playoffs, barring another bad injury. Matthew Stafford's going to be the MVP. I don't think there's going to be any... The only contender to his crown right now is Drake Maye, and Stafford has done more impressive stuff with his team and his strength of schedule than Drake Maye's cupcake schedule. So he's probably going to win MVP. And deserved. Very deserved. I'll say this right now. I have run through like a bracket simulator to determine which teams I want to see in the playoffs. Not playoffs. They're all in the playoffs. Which team I want to see go to the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you right now, on the NFC side, I want to see the Rams go to the Super Bowl. I want Matthew Stafford to cement his legacy as a future first bout NFL Hall of Famer and leave no room for doubt. Sadly, people will remember him more for his time in LA. But hey, you know what? The guy he'll been on the Lions more than he would have had the Rams. This might be his final season in the league, especially if he wins, because I think after this season, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's got nothing left to prove. 2 rings in, 5 years, I want to say? 6 years. The Rams might be looking to finally move on to a new quarterback, just because Stafford's getting up there in age. He might want to go down the Rodgers route, play till he's in his 40s. So far he hasn't shown any signs of decline, so maybe. But when it comes to going out on top, winning the Super Bowl for the second time in your career, doesn't really get much better than that. So we'll see about that. As far as the matchup goes, Rams offense is better than the Panthers. Rams defense is better than the Panthers. The Panthers defense is, I think, underrated. They got studs. They got Michael Jackson. No, I didn't do it right. Helen. They got J.C. Horn, who's one of the best corners in the entire league. The only way Panthers win this game is that if that defense shows the fuck up. If they can force Stafford to commit turnovers, if they can get a bunch of stops and limit the amount of points that the Rams could score, I think that the Panthers have a shot. And because they're playing in the home field advantage, they do have a shot. It's not a foregone conclusion, but now with everything on the line and much more at stake than a regular season game, Rams are going to come in and they're going to beat the Panthers. However, that doesn't matter as much as the spread. 10.5 points, widest spread in the entire wildcard weekend. Probably going to be the widest spread the entire postseason, barring some crazy shit. Let me think. If the Panthers were to win, who would they play? Because Panthers, if all the home teams win, Panthers will play the Seahawks in the divisional round, and I don't think they're gonna get past 2. It's gonna be tough for them to get past 1 NFC West team in the playoffs. They ain't making it past 2, so probably gonna be the widest postseason spread that you'll see. I don't trust the Rams to cover a 10.5 point spread in the playoffs against a home team. If they were the ones at home, I would maybe consider it. But because they're the ones on the road, and because we've seen this game play out before, I love the spread here for the Panthers. Give me the Panthers plus 10.5. That is a bet. I'm going to be betting on every wildcard game, by the way, except for one, and you'll see which one it is. If you follow the channel, you'll probably be able to guess which one it is when we get to it. I love this. You're going to give me the Panthers 10.5 in the playoffs? Now, granted, Bryce Young has one of two modes. He's either a really good quarterback, he'll show up, and he'll actually do way better than you think he will, or he'll shit the bed and have one of the worst performances you've ever seen. There's no in between. He'll either turn the ball over 3 or 4 times, or he'll throw for fucking 400 yards. I don't think he's going to throw for 400 yards against this Rams defense in the playoffs. But home field advantage, they're in the Rams' heads. They've beaten them once before, so they have the mental. And that defense is nice enough that I think that they can keep the game within that 10.5 point range. Now, the Panthers aren't going to win. I'm predicting that the Rams are going to win, but the Panthers are going to cover, and that's what matters. Panthers plus 10.5. I love this spread. All right, next game. The Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears, 7 seed versus 2 seed. Man, the Lions were just fucking one game away from claiming the 7th seed and taking on the Bears for the 3rd time on the road. But it is what it is. We're not here to lament about the tragedy of this Lions season and how badly the referees continue to screw them over. Who said that? We're talking about 2 frauds! This is the Fraud Bowl! The Green Bay Packers are on a tailspin. God damn it, the camera went out of fucking focus again. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. The Green Bay Packers are on a tailspin. Ever since they lost Micah Parsons in that Broncos game, it has just been downhill. They lost, 5 games, I want to say, since then? 4 or 5 games. They're barely above 500, if not for that tie. They've just looked kind of lifeless. Jordan Love got a concussion during the last time that the Bears played. Now there's talks that Malik Willis is actually better than Jordan Love, which I don't want to say that I 100% subscribe to that notion, but seeing how he played in that Bears game when Jordan Love got injured, and when Malik Willis played last year, when Jordan Love got injured at the start of the year and then played the next 3 games after that, I want to say, Malik Willis is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, and I think might have, if the Packers don't pay him a big time extension to be a backup, give him the old Tyson Bagent treatment, he might end up being a starter for another team, because I think he might have starter potential. Now, the Bears, meanwhile, they are known as the Cardiac Bears. They are known for playing decent to subpar mediocre football for the first 3 quarters, but then coming back in the 4th quarter. They're the Broncos of the NFC, but at least the Broncos have a really good defense that allows them to do more clutch thing. At least can keep them in games. The whole time, whereas the Bears will lose more. Well, the Bears have a better offense than the Broncos, though, so I don't want to get lost in the sauce comparing the 2 teams who are not going to see each other at all. We are not going to get a Broncos-Bears Super Bowl. I stake my life on that shit. I stake my cock and balls on that shit. You can have them if that happens. But yeah, Bears are on what are they going into, a 2-game losing streak? They lost to the 49ers in a barn burner, I'll grant you. It was 42-38 barn burner, 80 total points scored in that game. Very good football game. And then my Lions ripped their hearts out in Week 18. Bears were trying Week 18, mind you. Eagles, we'll get into them when we get to their game, stupidly rested their starters and lost their game against the Commanders when they could have easily won it and then jumped the Bears in seeding to get the 2 seed and probably get an easier game against the Packers than the game that they currently have. And the Bears can thank their lucky stars that Nick Sirianni is a fucking retard and have locked up the 2 seed even with that Lions loss. But Bears were trying that Week 18 game. I don't want to hear no excuses, Chicago. You want to be the kings of the North. You got to heavy as the head that wears the crown. You got to be open to the ridicule, open to criticism. The last place team in the NFC North beat you in a week where you were trying. You have lost momentum going into the playoffs as the 2 seed. But these are both fraudulent teams. And they would both be first round exits if they didn't play each other. So one of them is going to be a division exit by default. One of them is going to be a first round exit by default. So the best part about this game, from my perspective as a Lions fan, is that no matter the outcome, I get to agenda post. Either the Bears win and the Packers prove that they're dog shit without Micah Parsons carrying them, or the Bears lose and the Packers win, and then the Bears are what they thought we are. They're 4th quarter merchants, and they're frauds. They can't, play a full football game. And this, comeback shit in the fourth quarter is unsustainable. It's unsustainable football. That shit is not going to... you're not going to get away with that shit every game in the postseason. So, as far as... Yeah, they're both frauds, basically. And moral of the story. However, we got two frauds going against each other. Chicago's got the home field advantage. Packers, they should be getting Jordan Love back. I believe he is healthy enough to play. They might have a better chance if they play Malik Willis, you know. Both teams, if Packers had Micah Parsons, I would pick the Packers confidently to win this. However, they don't, and they've been pretty shit without him since. And I don't think Trayvon Diggs is going to save him. Meanwhile, the Bears, they have a pretty good offense. That defense is very suspect, not very good. But of course, without Parsons, the Green Bay defense isn't much to write home about either. So, two teams like pretty equally now poor defenses. So it's going to come down to who has the better offense. I hate to admit it, but when the chips are down, I think Caleb Williams is better than Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs is a better running back than DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. DJ Moore is a better receiver than any one of the fucking 5 wide receiver 2s and no wide receiver 1s that exist on the Packers team. Shout out Matthew Golden, by the way. What a fucking whiff of a first rounder that was. First wide receiver taken by the Packers in like, what, over a decade or something? And barely, like, he wasn't even good enough to be arrested. Was not even good enough to be arrested. Got what, I don't think he got a single fucking touchdown the entire regular season. What a whiff. What a bum. Truth be told, I don't want either team to win, but one of them's gotta win, and sad to say, even though I am one of those mudblood Lions fans who has blood in both camps of the Detroit and Wisconsin, Michigan and Wisconsin, I should say, not Green Bay, more of a Milwaukee guy, but as someone who does have blood, like literal family blood in both camps, and so he can't bring himself to hate the Packers as much as like your average Lions fan. I would like for the Packers to win, just so Ben Johnson does not get a win with the Bears, without the Lions, basically. With that being said, though, if I use my brain, if I use my head, I think the Bears are going to win this. I think their offense is better than the Packers' offense. And since both defenses are equally pretty poor right now, the Bears are just going to be able to pull it out. They have home field advantage. This Packers team without Parsons is just not it. Should have been the Lions, goddammit. Should have been the fucking Lions. If it weren't for the fucking refs calling the Rams touchdown, not a touchdown, and fucking Steelers bullshit. I can't crash out. I can't get into that right now. Give me the Bears to win. Bears to cover. I will not be betting this because fuck the Bears. I will also not be betting anything on the Packers side. The only game of the wild card weekend I will not be touching. So, that's it for that game. The Buffalo Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6th seed going into the 3 seed. It's weird to see the Bills not hosting a playoff game to at least start the playoffs, but lo and behold, that's just the reality we live in with the Drake Maye Patriots. Jaguars have exceeded my expectations. I didn't think they'd be that good. I thought at best, maybe, if not for the Daniel Jones getting injured and the Colts having a legendary collapse mid-season, I think we would be seeing the Colts in this position, and not the Jaguars, but it is what it is. So, Jaguars have exceeded my expectations. I didn't even think they'd make the playoffs. I think at best, they would have been like a low seed wild card, like a 6 or 7 seed. So, but now, basically the Bills and Jaguars basically swapped expectations for me. With that being said, if you look at the way the spread's going, it's basically a pick'em, equal odds both ways, which is crazy to me because I'll grant you this: this is easily Trevor Lawrence's best season he's ever had. I thought that going into this year, I thought he was an overpaid, overrated, wildly overrated quarterback. But even in spite of Brian Thomas Jr. being a bum and Travis Hunter being real ball knowers know that you can't play both sides, so he was a shit player to begin with. So good thing he got injured and to keep that agenda going. Pick a fucking lane, Travis. Even despite all of that, their offense is pretty good. Liam Cohen, is a contender for Coach of the Year. Defense is alright. It's average. Nothing to write home about, but not, like, poor. Bills, meanwhile. I'm worried about the Bills because their defense, they're kind of like the Lions of the AFC, where they have a really good offense, horrible defense. Now, granted, their O-line is better, so Josh Allen, not by like a big wide margin, but comparing the states of both O-lines, the Buffalo has a better O-line right now than the Lions do. So it also helps that, I'm a big enough boy to admit that Josh Allen is not only better than Jared Goff. I think Josh Allen is the highest performing quarterback in the league right now. One of the best, arguably the best, outside of, Patrick Mahomes' GOAT conversations. Because Allen is trying to catch Mahomes. Allen is above everyone else. He's only out to catch Mahomes. And now this is Allen's best chance to win a Super Bowl. No Patrick Mahomes. No Lamar Jackson. No Joe Burrow. There's all the big elite quarterbacks of the AFC are out of the playoffs. All he's got in his path right now is Trevor Lawrence, possibly either Drake or Bo Nix or like Drake Maye or even Justin Herbert in his way. This is the easiest path to the Super Bowl Josh Allen's ever had, basically. And if he loses this, his street cred fucking tanks. Because every year it's like he would have made the playoffs. I mean, not would have played the playoffs. He would have made the Super Bowl if not for guys like Patrick Mahomes, mainly Patrick Mahomes, keeping him down and away from the promised land. But now he's got no excuses. All of his biggest rivals are gone, not even a factor. Now he needs to win. And if he loses to a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who a lot of the league is like not overly impressed with and still thinks he's kind of like overrated and overpaid, Josh Allen street cred goes into the fucking toilet. Because he's got guys like Josh Cook, the leading rusher. He doesn't have like a elite receiver, but he's got, competent guys. He's got Khalil Shakir. He's got Dalton Kincaid. He's got who the fuck else? Not Keon Coleman, because Keon Coleman was a bust, but he's got guys. He's got James Cook is his best guy, but he has some people. Even Dawson Knox is kind of nice. That's why I mentioned earlier that the Rams were my NFC pick to make the Super Bowl, and the Bills are my AFC pick to get to the Super Bowl. I want to see a Bills-Rams Super Bowl. A Bills-Rams Super Bowl would feed generations. Give me Buffalo money line. That is a bet. I don't think the Jaguars are all that, even though they're hosting a game. Buffalo doesn't have to travel that far to Florida. I think Josh Allen's able to beat through this Jaguars defense. I think that they can outlast the Jaguars offense. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Not a lot of defense being played, but I believe in Josh Allen. I believe that this is his time. Is he going to win the whole thing? I don't know. Because I'm personally, even if he makes it to the Super Bowl, I'm personally rooting for Matthew Stafford. But he just needs to at least make a Super Bowl to at least protect his street cred, like, a little bit. If he can make it, then he is, in fact, being just held down by Patrick Mahomes. And it's basically he really is the Peyton Manning to Mahomes' Brady. So, I believe the Bills can make it. I'm betting on it. Put a unit on the Bills money line. That is a bet. Next game. The 6th seed San Francisco 49ers versus the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. Speaking of fraud teams, I know the last teams that we talked about weren't frauds, but the one before that, Eagles are fraudulent. Eagles are fucking fraudulent. Nick Sirianni is a fucking retard. If he had just simply played his starters instead of starting fucking Tanner McKee and just actually played Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and fucking Dallas Goedert and all his actual studs, and they could have beat the Commanders easily, and they could have made it to the 2 seed to get an easy game against a tail-spinning Green Bay Packers. Instead, they have to go through the 49ers, who just a week ago were playing for the 1 seed. So it just goes to show you how crazy both the NFC West and the fucking NFC playoffs are this year. Meanwhile, the 49ers, they are coming off a pretty poor loss to the Seahawks in the sense that what we thought was going to be a high-scoring, insane game turned out to be a low-scoring defensive game, which you wouldn't expect. Well, I guess you would have expected that from the Seahawks because they have a pretty good defense, but the 49ers defense is kind of bad because they don't have Fred Warner and God damn it, I get them confused. Is it Nick Bosa or Joey Bosa that's on the 49ers? One of the Bosa boys. The 49ers offense is incredible. Kyle Shanahan is an offensive mastermind. Brock Purdy, he might be a game manager. He might be a bit of a plug and play, but it's a pretty good guy to plug and play in. He's been going off, throwing for a shit ton of touchdowns recently. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. He got limited last week to, I think, a career low. I want to say, at least in a game that he played to completion, didn't get injured in. It was like 23 yards, which is crazy, but the Eagles are not going to be able to do the same shit. Kevin Patullo is one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league, and he is going to be the reason that the Eagles lose this game. Give me the 49ers money line. Not beating around the bush on this one. Eagles are frauds. They only won the NFC East because Cowboys have a bottom 3 defense. Giants sadly tailspinned after losing all of their guys to injury. And Dan Quinn being stupid and injuring Jane Daniels. Eagles got a freebie, basically a participation trophy, fucking NFC East title. And now that they're going to play a real fucking team when the stakes are at their highest, I think the 49ers are going to be able to make pretty easy work. That Eagles defense is pretty respectable, but I think when the lights are bright, even on the road, that San Francisco team is no joke. So give me the 49ers money line. I love it. They should not be this big of an underdog going into this game. This is going to be the biggest moneymaker. Eagles are not making it past the first round. Yeah. Keeping that one short and sweet, basically. Fuck the Eagles. And then the last game. The 7th seed Los Angeles Chargers versus the 2 seed New England Patriots. Now, this one is low-key a fraud bowl, but not as badly as the Packers-Bears game. The Patriots probably would have won the 1 seed if not for Broncos just having Satan magic on their side this year and siphoning it from the Chiefs from last year. Drake Maye, even though he's been beating up on bad teams, has been looking good beating up on bad teams. He's not been, fraudulently beating up on them. He's been performing well. He's earned a... He hasn't earned the MVP, but he at least has earned the contention to be in the MVP conversation. Even though Stafford deserves it way more. Meanwhile, the Chargers, they're coming into this pretty banged up. Their O-line has been banged up. I think they lost their, 2 starting guys since, mid-season. And Justin Herbert has... Does Justin Herbert still have, a broken hand or, a hairline fracture in one of his hands? Not his throwing hand, but still. He's coming into this game banged up. They rested him in Week 7, when they had a shot to both knock the Broncos, their division rival, out of the 1 seed, and, play for a higher seeding, within the fucking division. They rolled over and said, you know what, we'll just take our lumps, we'll rest, get better, play the 7th seed, work our way up. Both these teams are kind of on fraud watch. The reason that the Chargers are on fraud watch is because of one man only. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league. Justin Fraudbert. Last year, he was a big favorite to win his wildcard game, hosting it against the Texans, and they shit the bed. Actually, no, wait, what am I saying? The Chargers didn't fucking host. The Texans hosted. What am I talking about? But they were still favorites. Basically, Justin Herbert's never fucking won a playoff game in his entire career. And he's been in the league for 5 years now, at least. He's made it to the playoffs multiple times. This is now, his 3rd playoff appearance, I want to say. First time, he lost to the Jaguars. Second time, he lost to the Texans. I believe that's all the times. Now this is 3rd time. Can he break the curse? Can he finally win his first playoff game and reach the illustrious heights of guys like Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence and, who are other quarterbacks that have won a playoff game? I can't think of any in the league right now that have won a game and then we're immediately first round, because CJ Stroud has 2, so Stroud's going for his 3rd playoff win. Granted, they never made it past the divisional round, but that's neither here nor there right now. Also, I just realized I said final game earlier when I completely forgot about Texans Steelers. I'm so fucking stupid. It's been a while, guys. It's been since week 13. It's been a couple months. Cut me some slack here. Basically, the Patriots have a good offense, pretty good defense. Chargers have a pretty good offense. Unspecial defense might even be a little below average. The key to this game, though, and not just the fact that the Patriots have the home field advantage, it's the quarterback play. It's a little too early right now, maybe, but if Drake Maye beats the Chargers, I think it's safe to say that he's better than Justin Herbert. And I think Justin Herbert's going to go 0 for 3. Give me the Patriots, -3.5. That is a bet. I do not believe in this Chargers team. Maybe if they had their 2 starting tackles in their O-line, maybe they'd have a shot, but the Patriots, while they might be fraudulent, they are not so fraudulent that they can't beat this Chargers team. Justin Herbert is overrated. He had one good rookie season that people are still riding the fucking cock of, and it's time to slip off that cock. It has gone impotent. It has gone limp and flaccid. It's time to move on to actually good quarterback conversations. Patriots, -3.5. That is the play. That is the move. That's what's going to happen. Next game. Now, on to the actual final game for real. I forgot that wildcard weekend extends to a Monday. The 5 seed Houston Texans versus the 4 seed Pittsburgh Steelers. What a fucking game that Week 18 Steelers-Ravens game was, the running back didn't make the playoffs. Hallelujah. Lamar Jackson is a glorified running back and a certified bitch. Please switch to the running back position. Please, I beg you. Maybe whoever the new Ravens head coach will be smart enough to demote his ass. Where he belongs. Texans have the best defense in the entire league. Fuck you, fight me. I don't give a shit about the Broncos. Texans defense is better every which way. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is still slinging it, I gotta say. And there is a part of me that wishes that the Steelers win this game, because it would be so perfect in what is probably Aaron Rodgers' last game of his not last game, but last season of his career, that he either rides off into the sunset in the happy ending, winning the Super Bowl, or he goes out in a blaze of glory, where he, tries his hardest, has a incredible performance, but just ultimately comes up short. I think that's probably the latter is probably what's going to happen here, because that Texans defense, man, that fucking Texans defense is no joke. Guys like fucking Stingley, guys like Anderson, they're fucking monsters, man. Look at this total points scored. It's not even at 40. Not even at 40. One of the league thinks that one of these teams is not scoring not the league. Vegas thinks that one of these teams is not even going to score 20 points. So, with that being said, give me the Texans -3. That is a bet. I love it. I low-key want Rodgers to do well, but I think Texans are wild card king. They're the kings of the wild card. Every year that Stroud has been in the league, he has made it to the wild card round. He has won in the wild card round, and he's a division boy. He needs to break the curse and win a division game, but I think that even though the Steelers are going to get DK, I like to punch people who say my government name for some reason, Metcalf. They're getting him back off of suspension. It's just not going to make a difference against this Steelers defense. Rodgers is going to sling it. He is going to make a couple incredible passes this game. Might even get a touchdown or two, but I think that that Texans defense is just too good. And the offense, while you can argue that the Steelers offense is better, I wouldn't necessarily argue against it. I think they're pretty even, all things considered. At least when it comes to the run game, definitely the Steelers have the better run game. Shout out fucking Kenneth Gainwell. Where the fuck did these performances come from? It's just the defense, man. Defense wins championships. Defense is most important in the postseason, and Texans just flat out have the best defense in the league. So they're going to make it far, granted that the offense can do average. So with all that being said, I hope it's a good game, but I think Stroud's going to ball out. Collins is going to ball out. The defense is going to ball out. Pittsburgh's going to try their hardest, but they won't succeed. Texans -3. Love it, love it, love it. That's all my predictions for the wild card weekend. I hope that I go 5 for 5 and we climb out of this -13 hole that I've dug myself in. I think if I win all 5 bets, I'll get -6. I'll basically cut it in half. So hopefully we can get it to at least even out, or maybe positive profit at the end. I might need to bust out a parlay, Moneybags Manta parlay in that case, but we're gonna ease it into it for the wild card. So we'll see about that. That is gonna be all for this video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Let me know who you think is gonna win wild card weekend down in the comments. Who do you want to win the whole fucking shebang? I am Neon Manta, and you'll see me next time.